Imagine this. You're in your kitchen, casually grabbing a snack, when you hear rustling behind you. You turn around and there they are, a troop of baboons ransacking your cabinets. These aren't just any baboons. They've been feasting on fermented grapes, stumbling around like rowdy party guests, and wreaking havoc on everything in their path. Welcome to Constantia, South Africa, where wildlife meets wine country in the most chaotic way possible. Stay tuned, because today we're diving into the outrageous world of drunken baboons, their antics, and the battle between humans and wildlife that's gone completely bananas. Welcome back to Savage Tales, Animal Encounters, the channel where we explore the wild, weird, and downright unbelievable interactions between humans and animals across the globe. From survival stories to hilarious mishaps, we've got it all, and today's story is no exception. We're venturing to the lush vineyards of Constantia, South Africa, where mischievous baboons have become infamous for their wild behavior and their love for wine grapes. Yep, you heard that right. Drunken baboons are on the loose. We'll uncover the outrageous details, the chaos they've caused, and how the locals are coping with these tipsy troublemakers. Buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride. But before we swing into the madness, we've got a quick favor to ask. If you're loving these jaw-dropping animal tales, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up to show your support. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it helps our channel continue bringing you the most savage and thrilling stories from the animal kingdom. Ring that notification bell so you'll never miss an upload. We've got more wild encounters coming your way. And hey, we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us, what would you do if a troop of baboons raided your house? Share this video with your friends and family who love animals and adventure, because trust us, they'll want to see this one. Let's grow this amazing community of animal enthusiasts together. All right, now let's swing into the story and see what happens when humans and wildlife collide in a battle of wits, wine and wilderness. This is Savage Tales Animal Encounters, where the wild comes alive. In the serene and affluent suburb of Constantia, nestled on the outskirts of Cape Town, South Africa, residents have long enjoyed the peaceful charm of the area, with its lush vineyards and stunning views of the mountains. But recently, this picturesque neighborhood has been thrown into chaos by a very unexpected source. Baboons, once distant neighbors in the wild, have been increasingly encroaching on human territory, and their behavior has grown more daring and at times downright dangerous. The root of the problem lies in the sprawling vineyards that dot the landscape of Constantia, particularly at Groot Constantia, the renowned 3 to 5-year-old estate. As the vineyards harvest their prized Sauvignon Blanc grapes, an unusual problem arises. The grapes, left to ripen under the hot African sun, begin to ferment. The sweet, intoxicating scent of alcohol wafts through the air, drawing in wildlife. And for the baboons that roam the area, the temptation is irresistible. Baboons, known for their intelligence and social structure, are not only opportunistic eaters but also highly adaptable. As the fermented grapes fall to the ground, the primates feast on them, quickly succumbing to their effects. Some baboons become visibly drunk, stumbling through the vineyards and even passing out under the weight of their indulgence. This drunken stupor, however, does not render them harmless. Rather, it makes them even more unpredictable and aggressive. But the situation doesn't end with a few baboons having a wild party in the vineyards. No, these animals have become accustomed to the abundance that Constantia's residential areas provide. Over time, their behavior has shifted from foraging in the wild to raiding kitchens, tearing apart gardens, and even breaking into homes. The once gentle, cautious creatures now move with a brazen sense of entitlement, and the residents, though wealthy and accustomed to luxury, are finding themselves helpless in the face of these unruly intruders. It isn't just the homes that are suffering. Livestock, ornamental birds, and even pets have fallen victim to the baboons' raids. In some cases, they have been seen attacking animals as large as Great Danes, showing little fear of the humans who try to protect their property. Their strength, massive canine teeth, and lack of fear have turned the baboons into a constant threat. Local residents have taken to extreme measures to deter the baboons, resorting to banging sticks, yelling and shaking rubber snakes in an attempt to scare the creatures off. But these measures have proven ineffective. The baboons, now used to human presence, are no longer intimidated by such tactics. Authorities have brought in full-time baboon monitors, who are supposed to guide the primates back into the wild and away from residential areas. But even these trained professionals have failed to make a dent in the situation. In fact, it has become somewhat of a running joke in the community. The baboons seem to have a sixth sense for knowing exactly where to strike, often leaving the monitors frustrated and powerless. As the tension between humans and baboons continues to escalate, the residents of Constantia grow increasingly desperate. It's no longer just a matter of nuisance or inconvenience. It's about safety, livelihood and the protection of their homes. Yet, despite the best efforts of the baboon monitors, the situation keeps getting worse. And it's about to reach a boiling point. And then it happened. The unthinkable. On an unusually hot afternoon in Constantia, as the sun hung low in the sky and the scent of fermented grapes lingered in the air, a troop of baboons, already tipsy from their latest binge, decided to pay a visit to one of the unsuspecting residents. The family, who had grown accustomed to the baboons' presence in the vicinity, thought nothing of the occasional rustle in the yard. However, this time, something was different. A group of the animals, now emboldened by their drunken stupor and their growing familiarity with human spaces, had no intention of just scavenging the fruit trees or lingering at the edges of the property. This time, they were going in, and they were going all the way. The family was inside, unaware of the approaching threat. The baboons, led by their most aggressive members, made their way to the back of the house. The scent of food, freshly prepared and sitting on the kitchen counter, was just too alluring. With their surprisingly nimble fingers, the baboons wrenched open a window that had been left slightly ajar. A few quick movements and they had gained entry into the house. The first sign of trouble came when a loud crash echoed through the house, followed by the unmistakable sound of cabinets being pried open. The baboons, drunk and hungry, tore through the kitchen, pulling out anything they could grab: fruits, leftovers, even jars of honey. Their behavior was erratic, their movements erratic and unpredictable as they snatched up anything edible. But the real danger emerged when the baboons turned their attention to the rest of the house. It wasn't just the kitchen they ransacked. They began to move throughout the house with terrifying confidence, ripping open doors, tearing up furniture, and even climbing the walls. It was clear that the baboons had lost any remaining sense of fear. They were now fully aware that the house was their domain, a place they could enter and destroy at will. The family, hearing the chaos unfolding upstairs, rushed to check on their children. But as they entered the living room, they found themselves face to face with a handful of baboons. The animals, their eyes wide and unfocused from their drunken stupor, snarled and bared their teeth. There was no hesitation in their attack. Their aggression was palpable. As one of the baboons lunged towards a young boy, the family instinctively shouted in terror, hoping to scare the creatures away. The baboons, however, didn't flinch. Instead, they circled around, pushing and shoving each other as they eyed the humans with growing hostility. One of the baboons, larger and more fearless than the others, lunged at the boy, knocking him to the ground. In a wild scramble, it grabbed at him, tearing at his clothes and throwing fruit in his face, all while growling and snarling. Amid the pandemonium, the father, desperate to protect his family, grabbed a chair and swung it at the approaching baboons, creating enough of a distraction for his son to break free. The baboons, momentarily distracted by the loud noise, backed off, if only for a moment. But the damage had been done. The boy had been terrified, and his mother was left in shock, trembling as she ushered her children out of the room. Outside, the scene was no less catastrophic. The rest of the baboon troop had taken to destroying the garden, ripping up plants, uprooting trees, and even trying to scale the house's roof. They tore the thatched roofing apart, pulling chunks of it off in an effort to steal anything they could find. They even made attempts to climb into the attic, which was fortunately locked. The property, once meticulously cared for, was now a war zone, ruined and unrecognizable. Garden fences lay in shambles, and several ornamental birds, once admired by the family, were found dead, their cages destroyed in the mayhem. The baboons didn't care. They were in a frenzy, spurred on by hunger, confusion, and alcohol. When the authorities finally arrived on the scene, it was too late to stop the damage. The baboons had already wreaked havoc and fled, retreating into the nearby hills and forests. The house was left in ruin, with broken windows, shredded furniture, and a family shaken by the unexpected violence of the attack. The aftermath was chaotic and painful. The family had to contact both insurance and animal control, while the baboon monitors, who had been alerted, could only track the creature's movements, but were ultimately powerless to stop the destruction once it had started. The attack left a lasting impact on the community. Not only had these drunken baboons caused severe damage to the family's home and property, but they had also broken the final illusion that the residents could coexist peacefully with the wildlife in their midst. These weren't just mischievous creatures anymore, they were dangerous invaders. The baboon monitors, though dedicated, had failed to prevent this, and the anger from the residents was palpable. In the aftermath, the family was left with more questions than answers. How had things gotten so out of control? What could have been done differently? And most crucially, what was to be done now that the baboons, drunk and fearless, were no longer willing to stay in their natural habitat, but had made the human world their own personal playground? It was clear that something had to change, and soon. The line between human civilization and wildlife had officially blurred, and the chaos was only just beginning. Well, that was one wild ride, wasn't it? From drunken baboons wreaking havoc in a peaceful suburb to the utter destruction they left in their wake, this tale of chaos and human-wildlife conflict has certainly shown us just how unpredictable nature can be. But what do you think? How would you handle a troop of tipsy baboons invading your home? Let us know in the comments below. Your thoughts and reactions are what make this community so great. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the Savage Tales family if you haven't already. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next insane animal encounter we've got in store. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family, because who wouldn't want to hear about baboons on a bender? Also, ring that notification bell so you'll never miss an episode. We've got more jaw-dropping, heart-racing stories coming your way that you definitely won't want to miss. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of Savage Tales, Animal Encounters. Remember, when it comes to the wild, anything can happen. So always stay alert, stay safe, and of course, keep it savage. Until next time, this is your host, signing off. Stay wild, and we'll see you in the next adventure.